Hello and welcome to this new series, a series of audio commentary on the Batman movies. Now, I intend to do all of the live action Batman movies in chronological order, so we start off with the very first one, Batman the movie from 1966, the spin off of the 60s TV show, of course. Now, if you don't know what an audio commentary is, it's basically you're supposed to watch the movie while listening to this track, my audio commentary. So have the movie playing in some format while also playing this YouTube video. Now, me personally, I'm watching it on my DVD. And anyway, whatever format you're watching it on, press play now. Okay, my DVD is a bit slow, but hopefully will be synced up fairly well at least. Here is the 20th Century logo for me. 20th Century Fox. So I guess that means Disney owns this movie? That's kind of weird. Disney owning a Batman movie. As far as I know, this movie is not on Disney Plus. Maybe there are some copyright issues, considering the fact that WB owns Batman the character, but Disney owns the movie. Yeah, that's gotta be complicated. Here we have the Batman logo and the Batman theme playing. A William Dozier production. Adam West. And Burt Ward, of course. This DVD I bought back in like 2004 or something. And it was my first introduction to 60s Batman. I had never seen any of the episodes before this. I'd heard a lot about it, of course. I mean, all the pop culture references, the 60s Batman, it's just everywhere. So I knew about the show, of course, but I'd never seen any episodes. And then I bought this DVD of the movie, and I finally got to see 60s Batman. And I wasn't very impressed, to be honest. When I was a teenager, I was not a big fan of 60s Batman. Not like I am now. I'm still not a giant fan of this movie, which I've talked about before. I prefer episodes, most of the episodes in general, over the movie. I'm not really sure why. One thing, though, is the fact that there's too many... Bob Kane. Of course, they only gave credit to Bob Kane. Anyway, there's too many submarine scenes. I hate submarine movies. I can't stand them. Now, we even begin with a yacht, a boat. At least it wasn't a submarine. Wayne Manor. And here we have Alfred and Aunt Harriet. Whatever happened to Aunt Harriet? Should she reappear? Write it down in the comments, yes or no. Bring back Aunt Harriet? And here we have the iconic bat poles. And all of a sudden, they're wearing their costumes. Through magic, I guess. I gotta love that Batmobile, though, by the way. 60s Batmobile looks great. I think it looks better than most Batmobiles did in the comics at the time. The Batmobiles in the comics at the time always looked kind of boring. I mean, most of them. It wasn't really until the 80s, I think, when the Batmobile started looking cool in the comic books. And here we have the Bat Copter. Now the Bat Copter, I'm pretty sure, was created specifically for this movie. I don't think it ever appeared in the TV show, because obviously it costs a lot more. And the show had a very small budget. This movie had a lot higher budget than the show ever had. And here we have Batman and Robin flying over Gotham City. I don't know what city this actually is. I think someone said Los Angeles. I don't know if that's really true. That's one thing about this show that I don't really like. The city looks just so normal. It just looks like any old city. But of course, what were you gonna do with the budget? You couldn't create a city like Tim Burton did, obviously. It would have been nice if they had done like a sort of city looking like the city in the Dick Tracy movie from 1990. That would have fitted the tone and style of this movie and the show as well. Very colorful and comic booky, just like the characters are. But of course, they didn't have the budget for that, and I don't know if they ever even considered doing that. Bat ladder. Everything is labeled in the Adam West universe. Every one of his items are labeled with bat this and bat that. By the way, is this a scene where we the famous scene where we get the shark repellent spray already? It's been a while since I saw this movie. I think it's been well, not that long, a couple of years. But I haven't seen it that many times. It's one of the Batman movies that I've seen the least amount of times. I think I've seen it maybe 3 times, 4 at the most. And that's not much, considering how many times I've seen the other Batman movies. Well, most of them. Okay, this has gotta be the shark scene. He's hanging on a ladder above the water. Roger Wilco. I'm hoping we're synced up pretty well. Oh yeah, the boat was just an illusion. And now here comes, oh yeah, here's the shark, here's the shark. That's a very realistic, holy sardine. One of the most memorable Robin quotes ever. I constantly quote that, by the way. That is a very realistic looking shark prop. The shark repellent bat spray. Of course, you gotta label it as bat spray as well. It can't just be a shark repellent spray, it's gotta be a shark repellent bat spray. I love how the Bat Copter has the bat logo there on the side. I mean, watching a scene like this, you gotta wonder how anyone can possibly think that this was supposed to be serious. I mean, obviously, it's tongue-in-cheek and a freaking comedy. I never understand people who argue that, the show was trying to be serious, but it was just so pathetic, so it completely failed at it. Obviously, all of this silly goofiness is on purpose. Isn't that Catwoman in the background? Miss Kitka in her disguise. I just love Adam West's line deliveries. Please, no more questions about that ship. He really is one of the best live-action Batman. Yeah, that's Catwoman, alright. Pretending to be a commie. Of course, it's not Julie Newmar. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Lee Merriweather, but she ain't no Julie Newmar. What a damn shame that Newmar couldn't be in this movie. I'm not sure why she wasn't in the movie. I've heard different reasons. One reason was that she was busy with another movie. But I've also heard that she had a back injury or something. So I don't know what the true reason is. But it is a darn shame. Again, Lee Merriweather is fine. But I mean, Newmar. 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 By the way, this is one of my favorite versions of Gordon. I forget the actor's name. But I just love the fact that this Gordon is a perfect parody of Commissioner Gordon, or at least the classic Commissioner Gordon. The cop who is completely useless and can do nothing without Batman. And they constantly parody that, showcasing how incompetent and helpless he is. And that's what Gordon really was for a lot of years. It wasn't really until year one when Gordon became competent. And here we have the Rogues Gallery. Penguin and Joker. The Riddler. Criminal Conundrums. Oh gosh. Fake Catwoman. They're really jumping to conclusions, aren't they? Oh my god. I mean, obviously, this is supposed to be comedy. How anyone can take this seriously, believe it's supposed to be serious, I just can't understand. It was someone who described the show, I don't remember who. Was it maybe Adam West himself who described it as the first comedy TV show without a laugh track? Maybe that's what's throwing people off, that there's no laugh track, and they believe it's supposed to be serious. Are laugh tracks really that effective? Gotham City Cab Company. They actually made a label for that. How nice. Ye Old Ben Bow Tavern. This is the bar for crooks in Gotham. I mean, real name, okay? Your real name is Catwoman? Well, we have the Joker, cackling like a lunatic, as he always did on the show. And I love the Riddler's suit that he used in this movie and on the show. I wish he always just wore this suit and not this silly looking spandex. Nice effects. This is one of my favorite designs for the Riddler. And he doesn't even need to wear the mask, the domino mask. The suit was, by the way, Frank Gorshin's idea, because he didn't like the spandex. He didn't like wearing it. And I can't blame him. So he had the creators of the show make a suit instead. And that's how the Riddler suit was invented, by Frank Gorshin. Of course, he didn't start wearing it in the comics, though, until much later. I think late 80s, maybe. Not sure why it took such a long time for the suit to be adapted in other media. And Penguin, too, looks great. Like, ripped straight off the page. And I've talked about this before, but I don't like the look of the Joker, Cesar Romero's Joker. I mean, his suit isn't really purple, it's pink. And the hair never really looks quite green. It looks more yellowish, or just, you know, he almost looks like he's just blonde. And of course, they didn't do a great job with the white makeup, because you can see that there's his neck, the back of his neck isn't white, and his wrists aren't white, so you know, it just looks like he's wearing clown makeup. And then there's the mustache, but you know, the mustache doesn't bother me too much. People really don't like it when I complain about Cesar Romero's Joker, by the way. That's one thing I've been criticized a lot over the years for. Whenever I make a video where I talk about Romero's Joker and I just... and I criticize it, you know, people get upset in the comments. And they say I'm disrespectful. But I always try to criticize respectfully and not just... You know, I mean, nothing against Cesar Romero. I don't think I've ever talked badly about him. I think he did the best he could with the material he had. I just don't think the Joker was maybe written that well in the 60s. I just, yeah. But you know, one thing I do really like is the fact that the Joker isn't really Batman's arch nemesis in this universe. He's just one of the villains. I mean, they never really call him Batman's number one foe, and in this movie, he's not the leader. They're all equals, all four of them. The Riddler, Joker, Penguin, and Catwoman are all equals. They're partners. Joker is not in command of the operation. And I think Joker and Penguin had the same amount of episodes on the show, so he didn't appear the most. And in season 1, the Riddler appeared the most. And he probably would have appeared a lot in season 2 as well if Frank Gorshin hadn't dropped out. That's probably the reason the Riddler only got one episode in season 2. By the way, this movie was originally supposed to be made before the show and sort of intended as a pilot episode. So I don't know, I guess maybe it was intended as a TV movie at first. But the studio didn't want that. They weren't willing to risk spending so much money on a property on a property that wasn't wasn't they weren't sure it was going to be a hit. So they instead decided to try with a TV show first, which of course cost a lot less. That was a lot more secure. And it was a hit. And when that was a hit, they greenlit the movie. So the movie was made after season 1, between season 1 and season 2. Sadly, though, somewhere along, like halfway through season 2 or something, the ratings started to drop. And the show just got less popular and less popular. And when season 3 came out, basically nobody cared anymore. It's a shame. I actually really like season 2. I don't understand why, like a lot of people say season 1 is the best. I don't know. I mean, season 2 has a lot of humor. So maybe that plays into the... Oh, here we have the submarine. The penguin marine. God damn it, I hate submarines. Why did they have to set so much of this? Oh, there's the silly spandex. And he always lifted up the mask, too. Frank Gorshin was always, like, fiddling with his domino mask. Like, he would wear it around his neck instead, or put it up on his forehead. Maybe it was itchy, I don't know. But he did not like wearing that domino mask either, as well as the spandex suit. My God, I love Burgess Meredith's performance as the Penguin. It really is a perfect penguin. You know, in a fairly recent video, I named the animated series Penguin as my favorite adaptation of the character, but I don't know. I mean, I kind of flip-flop. It's kind of hard to pick. You know, between that and Burgess. I kind of keep changing my mind. You know, at the time, I felt the animated series. But maybe now I'd say Meredith. Because at least Meredith had a lot of great episodes. While Penguin on the animated series only had one good episode. One really good episode, though, by the way. I guess kinda the Penguin is in charge here of this operation. If anyone's in charge, I guess it would be the Penguin, since the submarine is his. He's the captain of the ship. The Joker actually has the least stuff to do in this movie. He's just kind of there. So I gotta love that. Hey, look, Joker's taking orders from the Penguin. What did he say? Holy Globot? The hell does that mean? It's got a lot of merit. It's stupid penguin cackle. I mean, I really should love this movie. It's got 4 rogues in it, and they all basically get their time in the spotlight. No one is really overshadowed, except for kind of the Joker, a little bit. So I should really love this movie, but I don't know why I don't. I can't just blame it squarely on the submarine scenes. I guess I find the plot kind of boring. It's not as fun as a lot of the plots of the show was. Like that episode where the penguin runs for mayor. That's a very fun plot. Or the one where Catwoman brainwashes Robin into becoming her sidekick and a criminal. You just had a lot more entertaining plots on the show than in this one. And Gorshin is looking kind of psychotic. He was always doing interesting things with his performance. Like how he would switch from jumping around and cackling like a hyena to all of a sudden becoming calm and cool. And becoming like really intense. Like looking crazy. Like he was gonna murder someone. Apparently, Gorshin was inspired by Richard Widmark's performance from the 1940s gangster movie The Kiss of Death, where Widmark plays a really psychotic gangster. I think I've talked about him in some video, that character. Frank Gorshin was inspired by that character when playing the Riddler. And that does kind of show. Penguin. Wow, that's not subtle at all. I've never liked Batman's costume here at the Adam West Bat costume with the drawn on eyebrows and all that, and the glued on tiny ears. Like, I like most of the designs from the show. Like, all of the villains basically look great. But I've never liked the Bat costume. Like, I don't know. I feel like they could have done a bit of a better job on it. Like, it looks too cheap. I mean, it really looks like something you would buy in a like Halloween, like in a Halloween costume, you know. I feel like they could have done it a little bit better, especially considering it's the main character. Aren't all Riddle's jokes, though, in a way? I mean, they did a phenomenal job with the Batmobile. Couldn't they have done a better job on the Bat costume? I don't know. It just looks so cheap. Even Robin's costume looks better. Of course. Sparrow with a machine gun. I always remember that answer. So stupid. Oh, really now? Is Catwoman there our arch enemy? The entire world is the minimum objective? Okay, so if they were 5, they'd be taking over the galaxy, I guess. Here we have the Rogues Gallery hanging out. The Riddler is the only one out of all of these who seems kinda serious. Like he's actually dangerous. And now he's going crazy. Like, wow. the the backside of that vest of his looks really interesting. Joker calling the Riddler mad. Although I guess he was more mad than the Joker on this show. Of course, it's always Bruce Wayne. Da is basically the only Russian word she can actually say, probably. I don't know. I just miss Newmar. Newmar has such a sense of humor to her as well. She was just a lot more fun to watch. And of course, while Lee Merriweather is very attractive, it's pretty hard to beat Newmar in that department. They do look fairly similar, though. You can tell they tried to cast an actress who kinda looked like Newmar. She's got the same hair color and everything. I always found it funny that Alfred looked more like Gordon on the show. Of course. What else? What? Oh, that is just so stupid. And when I say stupid, I do mean stupid in a good way. It's also kind of funny that Alfred towers over Batman. It's a lot taller. Wow. What did Batman just say? He's gonna bash the Riddler brutally? Did he just say that? Oh my god. That's kind of violent for Adam West Batman. Sounds more like something Batfleck would say. Bruce Wayne looking kind of James Bondish. I gotta say, Merriweather looks pretty damn good in that dress, though. What is it with Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle dancing? They always dance. They dance in Batman Returns, they dance in The Dark Knight Rises, and they dance in this movie. They always gotta go dancing in every movie. Are they gonna dance in the Batman too? They better. That's a tradition you can't break. Whenever Catwoman appears in a Batman movie, she's gotta dance out of costume with Bruce Wayne. It's a brilliant disguise Alfred is wearing. No one's ever gonna see that's Alfred Pennyworth. They very rarely used the bat signal in the Adam West universe. It was mainly just the bat phone. Has the bat phone even appeared in anything else beyond the Adam West universe? I think it may have appeared in something, but not prominently. If I do remember correctly, though, they do use the bat signal once in this movie. Yeah, there it is. There it is. But they very rarely used it. Not sure why. Maybe it cost too much. The electric bill for the bat signal was too expensive for the show. Kind of ironic I start talking about the bat signal just as they're about to use it. Looks cool though. Looks really nice. A phone is more practical than a silly signal in the sky, though. A lot easier to reach. I guess he uses a... well, what do you call it these days? You used to call them cellular phones or mobiles, but I guess now they're just phones. I guess that's what Batman has now. And Gordon can call him wherever he is. No, they still use the bat signal, of course, even though it is pretty damn outdated. But it's such an iconic part of the Batman mythos, you can't cut it out. They use it very sparingly, though, in the movies, the bats in all the movies. Like once per movie. You see it once in this movie, you see it once in 89. I think you only see it once in Returns. Batman Forever, I don't quite remember. Once, maybe twice. Of course, they only use it once in Begins and once in The Dark Knight. And in The Dark Knight Rises, they don't use it at all, since they destroyed it. Well, Bruce and Selina are about to get it on. Oh my. Look away, Robin. You're too young to see that. Call that a kiss? Looks like Bruce is fighting back or something. Oh my god, Alfred, you pervert. Alfred wanted to keep watching. I always knew Alfred was an old pervert. What are they flying on? Are those giant rocket umbrellas? That is so Silver Age. That is exactly the kind of stuff the Penguin would do in the actual comics at the time. Just look at Bruce's expression. This Catwoman doesn't really seem to have any kind of feelings for Batman. Well, obviously, she doesn't know that Bruce is Batman, but, in the other scenes when she's interacting with Batman, she doesn't seem to have any feelings for him, like the Newmar version did. But of course, the Newmar version didn't really have that either in season 1. She didn't really get that until season 2, which was after this movie. So, I guess it adds up. Is there any point of the Joker and the Penguin wearing domino masks? Like, what is the purpose? Wow, that was so... Oh my god, that's so badly done. It's so obviously stuntmen. Oh my god. That is just awful. I mean, especially the Riddler. You just immediately saw that was not Frank Gorshin. I don't know if the fight scenes were supposed to be so bad, or was it just, they couldn't make them better. That's one thing I'm not sure about. But the fight scenes in this movie and on the show are awful and just so awkward. Holy Halloween! Maybe I should make a video of the top 10 best holy something Batman Robin lines. And Joker just laughing. Sorry, Romero fans. I mean, they didn't give him any funny lines. At least not in this movie. And not in his first episode. Some of his later episodes were funnier. But he just didn't really... Abominable Outlaws. Wow, Bruce is quite dense. And he's supposed to be the world's greatest detective? Or did I miss something? Did he know that Kitka was actually Catwoman? I forget, because I'm sitting here babbling on. I'm not really following the movie that well. And as I said, I haven't seen it that many times. I don't think he knows. Of course, the 60s universe was the first time Catwoman ever wore an all-black costume. In the comics before, she always wore all kinds of different colors. Green, purple, just everything. Isn't that kind of ironic, this show that is so colorful is the first time they gave Catwoman a black costume? Da. I mean, if da is all you need to say, I guess anyone can pretend to be Russian. Look, Riddler has removed his mask again and has an up on his forehead. It must have been itchy or something. Or maybe he couldn't see with it. Joker, go serve him tea. You're the errand boy in this movie. Oh, I love seeing Joker being the errand boy. Yeah, okay, clearly he doesn't know. It's kind of funny that the Penguin's hat is more purple than the Joker's suit is. And by the way, not to be hypocritical, I did also not like the fact, oh god, so obviously stuntman again. Anyway, I did not like the fact that Joaquin Phoenix wore a red suit in the Joker movie. What is it with Joker in movies not having purple? Just give him purple. Yeah, that was obviously not a dummy that exploded. Why did he explode? Did he just die? Did they kill someone? Was that a goon who exploded and died? And people say no one's ever killed in the Adam West universe. Oh my god, Gordon, you stupid idiots. Gordon's never been dumber. And that's why I like this version of him so much. He's easily in my top 5 versions of Gordon. Ooh, Catwoman's legs. And there he goes cackling again. I mean, I'm sorry, Romero fans. And no offense to Romero. I don't know. I don't really like his Joker laugh. Just too silly. But I mean, I guess that's a silly complaint to say about this movie. Something being too silly. See Penguin giving orders to people? If anyone's in charge, it's the Penguin. I like the Riddler's cackle more than the Joker's because his cackle sounds kind of insane, like he's nuts. While the Joker's cackle is just, goofy. Sorry, Romero. I don't mean to disrespect. And also, it's not his fault that they didn't give him any actual funny jokes. At least not in this movie, and not the first episode. I mean, that's obviously on the writers. I mean, even Gorshin does overdo it a bit sometimes. Like, he could ease up a little bit. You see, and he just suddenly switched to being dead serious. That's what I love about the Gorshin's Riddler. He just switches from being like complete Looney Tune to being completely serious and focused and intense. Da-da! I think it's soon time for the infamous can't get rid of a bomb scene. I mean, it's here on up here, isn't it? Such low-tech gadgets he used in this movie, on the show. But it's comic accurate. This is what he used in the comics at the time. He just had a batarang at a rope that he threw. He did not have a grapple gun. I think it was actually the Tim Burton movie that invented the grapple gun, but it was very quickly adapted into the comics, like the very same year he started using the grapple gun. Because, I mean, I remember reading those old Alan Grant and Norm Brayfogle issues, and Batman is using a grapple gun in them. And here we had maybe a celebrity cameo. I'm not sure, and I'm not sure who that was. If it was a celebrity cameo, 'cause they always had that on the show. Whenever they're climbing up on walls, you have some celebrity looking out the window and saying, "Hello, Batman, how you doing?" And there is the bomb, of course, that you can't get rid of. And that is a pretty funny gag. But it's so you've seen it so many times that it's not really funny anymore. But the first time I saw it, I found it very funny. I guess those overweight ladies didn't care. They have to finish their meals. Okay. By the way, I read somewhere that Adam West didn't actually want to do this movie. And I'm not sure if this is true, because sometimes there's a lot of rumors on the internet, and it's often just a bunch of baloney. But he didn't want to do the movie, and then the studio said, well, we're making the movie either way, with or without you, so we're gonna recast Batman. And so he decided to do it, because I guess he didn't want someone else taking his role. Maybe, I mean, if that had happened, and this movie would have been really successful, I guess they would have recasted him for the other seasons too? And that would have been really bad. Maybe he was afraid of that, if this story is even true. Ducks. Get rid of a bomb. Yeah. Is dead. Batman is dead, Robin. Get over it. Oh no, there he is. Only heart failure. That's gotta go in the top 10 list. Only heart failure. Oh my god. Robin was willing to sacrifice those riffraff. Yeah, that's obviously not the Penguin. Okay. I guess they're smarter than I thought. Wow, they gassed the Penguin. And I think this is just reused footage from the TV show that they used a million times. A lot of the stuff when the Batmobile is driving around is just reused footage. Penguin in the Batcave. Just imagine that Penguin is in the Batcave. I don't think he was the only villain to get inside the Batcave. I mean, well, in this movie is, but I mean on the show. I want to remember other villains got into the Batcave as well. Well, I'm pretty... Well, oh yeah, Catwoman was definitely in the Batcave. pirates. Oh, Penguin's all out of goons. Plan failed. Says the guy. They won't be coming back. Says the guy was willing to blow up a bar full of people. Just 'cause they're riffraff. Perfectly. Wow, he just swallows any pill that Batman gives him. That might have been drugs. Who knows what Batman'll give you? You can't trust a guy, a grown man who dresses up like a bat. Oh my. Oh, this was back in the days when the Penguin actually used trick umbrellas, unlike nowadays when he doesn't even use regular umbrellas. Because apparently umbrellas are too goofy. Even though trick umbrellas actually exist in the real world. There's been plenty of assassins who've killed people with umbrellas that have bladed tips with poison on them and such, and guns hidden in umbrellas. It's a real thing, you know. It's not far-fetched. A guy dressing up like a bat is a lot more far-fetched. But yeah, I'm not expecting Colin Farrell to use trick umbrellas in the Batman. I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised, but I'm not expecting it. And here we have more submarine scenes. Well, of course he's mad. There we have the Riddler's entire motivation summarized with one sentence. They really got the Riddler right in the 60s. That he's all about challenging Batman with riddles. They kind of struggle in everything else. Like in Batman Forever, he's not doing that. In the animated series, even, he's not doing that until the Riddler's Reform episode. But they got it right already in the 60s. Nah, you didn't, Riddler. They're gonna be fine. Trust me, they're gonna be fine. If you haven't seen the movie, Robin is really good at riddles. It's kind of funny that it's always Robin solving all the riddles, not Batman. You see? It's always Robin. I guess Robin is the Riddler's arch enemy on the show. They sure did love running on this show. You always see Batman and Robin running from here to there in broad daylight, in crowds of people. See, even the goons think Catwoman is nuts. Running in front of a screen. What, they couldn't run on a real street? Still running. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people love this movie, especially fans of the 60s show, which I am, by the way. But, you know, me, I just find it a bit dull. Which maybe you can probably tell. No offense to people who love the movie. I mean, we all have our own personal preferences. And again, Penguin wearing a domino mask, that is pretty hilarious. What is the purpose with the domino mask? Like, what are you doing? And that's a really neat... that was a really neat umbrella gimmick, by the way. That's the kind of shit I want to see the Penguin do. That's the kind of stuff he's done a million times in old comics, too. Like, put a whole room to sleep with some kind of gas from his umbrella. They could have worn gas masks. But I guess there was no room for that in the budgets. Yeah, and here we have this scene, which is a parody on just, politics. Everyone's babbling and no one's listening, and everyone just arguing and. I mean, obviously, no one's listening to each other since they're all speaking different languages. What a devious plot the villains have concocted. And everyone just immediately trusts Batman and Robin. That's another thing I love about the Adam West universe, that everyone just trusts Batman immediately and then loves and admires him. He's got like more power and authority than the president. That's, by the way, one reason why the episode where the penguin runs for mayor is my favorite episode. Because that's the one time that Gotham starts to dislike Batman. In case you haven't seen the episode, both Penguin and Batman run for mayor in the episode. It isn't just Penguin. Batman runs for mayor too. And the Penguin runs a smear campaign against Batman and gets everyone to hate him. And that's a lot of fun to see, because you're so used to everyone in the city loving Batman. And here we have more submarine scenes. You gotta love the submarine scenes. Couldn't they have been on an airship instead or something? Hey, riddles aren't stupid. Screw you, Joker. Oh my god. What a bunch of goofballs. And how can Riddler possibly make a message clear? That's gotta have been really difficult for him with his compulsive disorder. Penguin doesn't like cats, apparently. That looked like stock footage to me. Yeah, that's gotta be stock footage. Or maybe it was the Bat boat that was specifically built for the movie. I said earlier the Bat Copter was made specifically for the movie. It might have been the Bat boat, I'm not sure. It was either one, or maybe even both of them. I guess it would make more sense if it was the boats because there's so many water, ocean scenes in this movie. I don't really remember any episodes having a bunch of ocean scenes. And yes, again, they think they've killed Batman. How they're so naive. Don't they ever learn? Another thing about this movie, where it fails compared to the TV show, are the goons. There are no memorable henchmen in this movie like there was on the show. Almost every single episode had memorable henchmen. But I guess when you've got 4 villains, there's no room for memorable henchmen fighting for the spotlight too. So, guess it makes sense. Exactly, stupid submarines. Amazing special effects. But of course, it fits. Looks like something out of a comic book. Nice earring. They really are pirates, aren't they? Do something yourself, Catwoman. Well, Joker's taking charge. Finally, doing something. You just couldn't imagine a movie nowadays, or anything, where the Joker would be cooperating with three other villains as equals. Like, no, no, no. Why is the Joker so happy to see them? And here we have another awkward fight scene. Pow, whap. Twack. Biff. Bap, bap. Zwap. And he punched the Riddler instead. Knock. Ooh. Irk. That's a weird sound effect. Irk. Catwoman is literally throwing cats at Batman. That was definitely not a stuntman. Yes, gotta save the kitty, Batman. I hope you drown, Joker. Wow, that was sneaky, Catwoman. Why isn't Catwoman joining the fight more? Just hiding like a pussy. Get it, pussy? She just sneaks up on people from behind. Yeah, you get no declarations of love from Catwoman to Batman at all here in this movie. So that was clearly not a thing yet. Ooh, and now he realizes it's Kitka. Because she dropped that tiny little mask. Yeah. Comic book logic. A tiny little domino mask is enough to hide one's true identity. I mean, when, Superman can hide who he is with glasses, I guess a domino mask isn't that bad. He'll get over it. Snap out of bat cuffs. He's pretending to take it cool. What a silly oaf. Yep, everyone counts on a masked vigilante. Makes total sense. Indeed. Gosh, yes, Batman. Robin always has some kind of idea, and then Batman just convinces him otherwise. He's always got some kind of irresponsible idea, and Batman has to lecture him. I guess they really wanted to up the stakes with the movie by having, the United Nations being involved and the entire world. That's just Gotham. But I don't know. Like I said earlier, I just don't really care for this plot. I don't know why. Yeah, I haven't watched this movie again now for the, I don't know, fifth time or something maybe. My opinion hasn't changed. I'm not the biggest fan. I appreciate some things, but I would much rather watch episodes of the show. I would much rather watch the better episodes of the show than this movie. I'm not sure if the movie was a giant hit. I don't think it was a massive hit. But I don't think it was a flop either, because the interest in Batman didn't start to wane until sometime halfway through season 2. So when this movie came out, Batmania was basically still around. And of course, it's all been mixed up. Such national stereotypes, by the way. How do you figure Batman? I mean, it's still a mess, just like it was earlier. Batman failed, and now he's fleeing the scene. You didn't do your job, Batman. You failed. But it doesn't make any difference. So, whatever. Slowly gliding down. The end. The living end. Well, that was Batman the movie from 1966, this spin off movie of the 60s TV show. We've now watched it together. Did you have fun? I sure did. Well, not quite, because I'm not really a giant fan of the movie. And like I said, my opinions has not changed after this additional viewing. I'm not really that into this movie. Yeah. I'm not sure how entertaining this commentary was, if at all. If it turned out to be just a giant bore and I had nothing interesting to say whatsoever, maybe I shouldn't do anymore. Or at least I should try with the next one, I guess, 89. I probably have more stuff to say about 89, since that's a movie I care about a lot more than this one. So yeah, I'll give that a try, but if that's still not something that you guys are into after that, then I guess I should give it a rest. But at least I've done one now, one audio commentary. And if this was the first time you saw Batman the movie, well, I guess you shouldn't have done it like this. You shouldn't watch a movie the first time with audio commentary. That's weird. Obviously, you should watch it normally first. Anyway, I guess I'll see you next time. I'm not sure what kind of video that'll be. I'm not sure if it'll be the 89 commentary or if it'll be something completely different. It might be something different in between there. But yeah, as always, remember, Arkham Asylum awaits you in the next video.